Yeah, the Premier League is back tonight after 3 weeks away. Some teams had cup games since then, but Man United had to find other ways to fill the time, as I found out this week. Now, we're at the business end of the season, but unusually for Man United, they'll have had a 24-day break between their last game away at Bournemouth and Monday's clash against Leeds. So, Michael Carrick has brought his squad to Dublin for an intensive training camp ahead of their final 7 games of the season. There's plenty on the line for the United boss, not least Champions League qualification and trying to get the job beyond the end of the season. Michael, thank you so much for inviting us out here to Dublin. It's a very unique scenario, this one, I have to admit, because I never thought I would be saying that I would interview a teammate of my own, because it was nearly a year ago that you and I were sat next to each other in the dressing room.
Teammate as well, you were, by the way.
I was getting everyone's minds in it for Soccer Aid. Yeah. 4 days out in Dublin. Why did you want to come here?
Mixed reasons, to be honest. I think we've had a little bit of time between games, and it's a little bit unique, really. 24 days between Premier League games. I think it's just kind of a record. Yeah. So,
did you ever have that as a player yourself? Did you ever have that
never.
amount of gap?
We probably had an extended time, but I think it doesn't feel as long as that because of the internationals and the boys going away anyway and playing games, and so it's not like you're totally shutting down for that amount of time. The boys have been quite busy, so it's kind of getting everyone back together.
One of the players that will be leaving in the summer is Casemiro. A player of supreme football intelligence. He's been there, he's done it all. On a replacement for Casemiro at the club, would you ever be tempted to pick his brain to say, who do you think could fill this role?
No, listen, players and teams evolve all the time, and there's always players that leave football clubs, and some are bigger and more important than others. But Cassie's been fantastic since I came, and got a lot of respect for him and how he's gone about that, how he's dealt with the whole situation, and obviously the career that he's had. But he's been great since I've came here, and seems to be really enjoying himself. And I think the clarity has helped everything, really, to make the most of kind of what's left. And that's fine. That's how it is. I wouldn't say necessarily to replacing players. I think over the years we've lost some huge players at this football club, and sometimes you maybe go down a different route. Sometimes it's similar. Everyone's got to bring their own personality, their own character, their own demeanour to the game. So. Listen, there's obviously the discussions. It's no secret that in terms of what we'll need going into next season. But I speak to Casemiro a lot. I like the way he thinks, the way he speaks, the way he acts. So I've lent on him quite a bit. On
the manager's job, is that something that you would personally prefer to sort out as soon as possible, or are you just happy to keep doing what you're doing, and what will be at the end of the season?
I understand the situation, I understand where we were at when we kind of came back in January, and what the plan was for the rest of the season, and then what the possibilities are in the summer. So I don't think that's changed at this point. Things will get sorted when they'll get sorted, and for me it's just about trying to do the best job that we can, and certainly plan for the future and for the good of the football club and for the good of the players and the squad, and to be fair to them, I'm not coming to get through to the end of the season and then deal with what's next. I think it's important that we make a plan and follow that through for the squad to get stronger. And well, if that's I'm part of it, then I'm part of it. If it's not for whatever reason, then that's the situation that I kind of walked into.
Literally just walking past you right there, Bruno Fernandes. How deserving
is... you can hear him still as well.
Yeah. How deserving is Bruno of those shouts of Player of the Year for this season?
Yeah, I think hugely. I think he's the impact that he's had on the group for quite a period of time now is really impressive in different ways, and he's always there. He always puts himself forward, and his attitude and his approach to the game, and he understands what it means to play here and the role that he plays in that. And then to put the level of performance consistently, not just this season but for a long period of time, but this season especially, I think he's had a big impact. He's done great since I came back as well, and So yeah, I think he's got to be right up there as deserving as anyone for that kind of award.
A former teammate, Wayne Rooney, he'll go back and he'll talk about that 08 team and say, oh no, this team was the best, this was it. Do you think Bruno could get into that side?
No, that's what I mean. I think it's just so difficult to say. I don't think it's fair to anyone, to be honest, just to be labelled that. It's not even fair to Bruno to be, it is what it is. I think talking about evolving earlier with Casemiro and things evolve and change over time, and timing's one thing, and players, different styles sometimes comes and goes. I think Bruno's just showed that he's a top player, and he's produced for so long, and that was a pretty good team, I have to say, though.
He might just make it in.
Yeah.
We'll see. Michael, thank you so much, man.
Nice one.
Good luck for the game.
Good to see you, mate.
Thank
you very much.
See, look at that, boys. Just a couple of ex-teammates hanging out. You know what I mean? Don't worry about it.
He brought up when he was playing, didn't he?
Yeah.
Brought up straight away, didn't you?
Hey, look,
Couple of ex-teammates.
yeah, a couple of soccer
I was thinking, where have they played?
Yeah. But look, guys, it was wonderful to sit down with Michael and really get a vibe of Man United right now. It seems so relaxed and everything like that. But I guess there is one thing that might be, Jimmy, hampering United, and that might be their transfer plans with the kind of, I guess, potential targets not knowing who the manager's going to be. Do you think that'll be a problem for them?
It's only not going to be a problem if whoever is running the club at the moment, the directors of footballs with the CEOs and the owners, they make the decision what kind of identity they want to be. What kind of football they are going to want to see week in, week out. And they will have the final decision which players are coming. And whatever manager comes in is going to have to work with the players we are choosing to bring in. Now, that might limit you what kind of manager you're going to be able to get, but that's the position that they are in at the moment. Or they have to wait until they have identified that manager, but then they are behind in the transfer market.
I mean, you see as well, not just the players that are potentially coming in as well, the players that are there. Ahmad came out and said how much of a great effect, Michael has had on that side. Do you think having that players backing, do you think, David, that could affect the club's decision, or do you think regardless that it's theirs at the end of the day?
I think Man United have got their sort of fundamental sort of elements of the football club. You see the sort of new owners come in, they sort of, when they were stopping certain monies going to sort of feed in the sort of staff elements of the football club, and it caused a bit of a disharmony with Man United. Man United are the leading sort of light, the biggest club in the world, biggest club in the Premier League, and the sort of fundamentals of the football club sort of have to be right. And then when you're sort of deciding on players and what comes in, that's a sort of follow the same track. They've got to buy and bring in the right personalities that fit the sort of Man United way of playing. I think Carrick has sort of gone in and he's sort of stabilised the sort of, whatever you call it, a sinking ship, but it was certainly a wobbly one, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it wasn't a great position.
Like Pirates of the Caribbean, wasn't it?
It was.
Just need Johnny Depp to come in and be all right.
Yeah,
but it was slightly, and they need to sort of stabilise it. Woodgate, good friend of mine.
Yeah.
God bless him. Look here. He's still here.
Have you
I don't know why I say God bless. I don't know.
Yeah, he's okay.
And at the football club, and they've gone in and sort of revitalised it. And you can see the energy from sort of Man United and the players that they bring in. They've got to bring in the right players.
Yeah, not just the players that they're bringing in, as well the players that are staying. Harry Maguire's signed a new one-year deal as well. Jimmy, you work with Harry for England. What are some of his qualities?
I think it's a great signing for the club. I think we all know his character. He's a team player. He's a man. He will lead. He needs the right people around him. But is a danger in both boxes. Is really good.
He actually said that this week. He said he feels like he's one of the most influential players in both boxes in world football. Would you agree with that?
Well, I don't know in world football, but I do know that he's incredible, strong, attacking, and as a defensive unit, you can put him with corners in the middle, and not having a man and attacking everything, and he will do that bravely. So he does defend his box really well. And as I said, he's a leader. You know, he's somebody that will take the team on their shoulders and go. You know, he does need the right people around him to be able to play the Man United way. You cannot just leave him 1v1s with a lot of space behind you. But everything else, yeah, great signing, really good for the club. I like him. He's real. You know what you're going to get with him. So, yeah, good to see.
I think as well, there was a lot of conversation about his spot in the England team as well. David, were you happy to see him back in that big squad that we saw Thomas Tuchel bring?
Yeah, I think part of the big squad. He's got a great personality, hasn't he? He's been through so much. What he's been through at Man United, being booed, and England being booed from the fans.
Yeah.
And
his arc has been unbelievable.
Captaincy taken off him.
Yeah, but he's kept on going.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like how he's gone through that.
Yeah, and that sort of strength that he's got as a professional, and he certainly is a professional. He's good around the building, good around with the lads. I think he's a good personality. Yeah. He's come out, and the confidence that he's got. He's just named himself one of the best. He's one of the best centre halves in the world. In the box and the other box. I'm like, go on, Maguire. Let's have it. But that confidence, and that's what you need at Man United. You need that confidence. You need, whether it's, people say arrogance or something, but you need that confidence to be able to go out on Old Trafford's pitch and perform. You know, you're under so much pressure. You're on the biggest clubs in the world. I mean, it was a bit like your goal back in the day. What about the bullet?
Oh.
Yes, I had to bring it up. It's a perfect link. Wallop.
Let's
bring that up now.
Let's forget.
Come on, Jimmy.
Let's forget about the bullet. But
I'll get it at the end of the show.
Don't worry about that.
Those kind of players are like Harry, are a little bit going out of the football at the moment.
Out of the fashion, you mean?
Yeah, he likes heading the ball in both boxes.
Yeah.
He likes to go and attack the ball. We don't see them kind of players that much anymore, you know? So maybe he's right that he's saying, I'm the most dominant in both boxes. Maybe he's right. Because we don't see that many of them anymore, you know? And he definitely does that.
Yeah, we know we have many fans here in Ireland, so it's amazing to play in front of them. We had good moments so far, so we are really enjoying the moments.
Simon? Brian, Simon Stone, BBC. You had a lot of offers last summer and chose to come to Manchester United, even though the other clubs are playing in Europe. Would qualification for the Champions League at the end of this season be justification for your decision to come here rather than accept one of the offers of teams who are already in the Champions League?
No, obviously, first of all, joining Manchester was a big thing for me, and I'm someone who likes challenges, and then coming here was one of the challenges I fixed to myself, and then obviously getting the reward at the end of the season will be a great moment.
Following on from that, sorry, James Duckett from the Telegraph, Brian, on that. Just following on from that, what has impressed you about Michael in the question for both of you? What has impressed you about Michael in the 3 months you've been working with him?
I think, as Ahmad said, he knows the DNA of the club. He knows how to talk to us as well, and then I think it's been easier because he knew the house. So yeah, it's been great to work under him.
Yeah, I think since he's arrived in the club, it's been clear to everyone that he wants to win. He wants to reach the Champions League next season, and he's been working with each player. So he's doing very well, and we are really happy to have him as a manager.
Paul Hurst from the Times.
Hello.
Ahmad, you knew Michael from before when he was at United with Ollie. What can you think back to that time and how much he kind of helped you settle in?
Yeah, I was young in that time with no experience, but yeah, he was there to help me. he was there to give me advice. I was playing a lot of the game with under 23. I remember I also met him when he was in Middlesbrough and I was in Sunderland. So I know him since a long time ago. He's been doing so much for me. And yeah, I'm so happy to have him as a manager, honestly.
OK, then let's start with plenty of news coming out of Manchester United today. Let's cross live to our reporter Dan Khan, who's been there all day taking note of what's happening. Dan, always lovely to see you. Welcome along. Look, Harry Maguire is staying at Manchester United. Tell us more.
Yeah, good evening, Vicky. I mean, it's something that we have been reporting for a few weeks now, that the club and Harry Maguire had been getting closer to reaching an extension to his contract, which was running out this summer. And the news broke this morning that he has extended his stay at Old Trafford for at least another 12 months with an option for another season. And look, let's not forget Harry Maguire, when he signed Vicky in 2019 for £80 million from Leicester City. He was the most expensive defender ever. I mean, just put that into context. He was then Manchester United captain 6 months later by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. A few years later after that, stripped of that captaincy by Erik ten Hag. I mean, his journey at Manchester United has been an absolute roller coaster, but maybe words like resilience, fight are appropriate when you look at how he's performed in the last 18 months or so, whether that's been under Ruben Amorim, some incredible moments last season, scoring the winner against Lyon, Old Trafford behind me in that 7-6 win on aggregate. This season, scoring the winner at Anfield, their first win there since 2016. And we heard from Maguire after that match, Vicky, and he said that it was so special to him because he thought that could be one of the last times he plays there in a United shirt because of his contract situation. I think that's maybe the interesting aspect of this story. Maybe earlier in the season, from what I understand anyway, that maybe this wouldn't have been the outcome under the previous coaching staff, under Ruben Amorim, but he was also injured in November and December. He missed quite a lot of game time, but under Michael Carrick, he has started every single Premier League game. He's shown his value to Manchester United on and off the pitch. It's something Michael Carrick has highlighted repeatedly, and he's also got himself back in the England picture as well. But as you mentioned, it's the first time we'll hear from Harry Maguire since signing that extension. Let's hear from him now.
No, it's amazing. Obviously, it's my 7th year, and to be at this club, to play at this club one game is really special. So to be here 7 years, going to be 8. Really looking forward to it. Big, strong end to the season is a focus now. Put us in a strong position going into next year. And then we've got to make next year a lot better and a lot more positive and a lot more special. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
And we're just sitting here with your family, getting your contract pictures signed. How much does it mean to them to see you sign a new contract here?
Yeah, definitely. We've always felt so welcome at this club. The kids really enjoy it. We're really settled here in Manchester, and no, it's amazing to get the contract signed and to be here another year. Guaranteed, and to play at this club for another year is special. It's a special feeling to play here and to play in front of our fans. We have the best fans in the world, and to have that opportunity another year it means a lot to us all.
What made you sign on for another season? What more is it that you want to achieve here?
Yeah, I feel like we're in a good place at the moment, and I believe that we're on a forward curve with the club, and I want to be part of that. I want to leave the club in a good place whenever I do leave the club, and that's the most important thing.
So Dan, that's Maguire's future sorted out then. What about the manager though? Because a couple of players have also given their backing, haven't they, to Michael Carrick?
Yeah, absolutely. And look, Michael Carrick, I think this last phase of the season will be very telling as they look to secure Champions League football for next season, Vicky. But United are in Ireland this week, intense training camp ahead of that last phase of the season. Amad Diallo and Brian Mbeumo did a joint news conference, and they were asked the question, their head coach that has seen 7 wins in 10 games, propelled in that Champions League race, whether he is the right man to lead United forward beyond just the end of this season. I think their responses were quite telling.
Obviously, it's not for us as a player to decide for his future, but yeah, he's been very great. He's been doing so much for the team. He has a lot of experience and he knows the club. He has the DNA, so we think he's the right man. But we are really happy for what he's doing right now.
He knows the DNA of the club. He knows how to how to talk to us as well, and then I think it's been easier because he knew the house, so yeah, it's been great to work on him.
Since he's arrived in the club, he's been clear to everyone that he wants to win. He wants to reach the Champions League next season, and he's been working with each player. So he's doing very well, and we are really happy to have him as a manager.
Look, Vicky, backing by your own players is never a bad thing, is it? Especially when they're as clear as that. Results on the pitch have been positive for Michael Carrick so far. Looks like he has the players backing as well. He definitely does at Old Trafford as well, but we'll see if that continues when they take on Leeds on Monday Night Football to come.
So got a big decision to make, haven't they? Thank you very much indeed, Dan. Let's get back to something that you're comfortable talking about. And of course, it's football.
I'm not sure about that.
Well,
Some
you
would
are.
say.
That's what you paid for.
Yeah.
Look, let's talk about this man here, Harry Maguire, signing this contract extension, and he's got this further year option as well. What a redemption arc that he's had, because there was a time that actually he was being ridiculed as a player at Manchester United. He'd fallen out of favour, certainly under Ten Hag's tenure, and then also Ruben Amorim. It didn't quite work out for him, even though he was carrying the team at times. He had some really good performances under him. So this is a huge comeback for him, isn't it?
Yeah, and fair play to Harry Maguire, because everything that he's gone through, certain other players would have been shouting from the rooftops. He never shouted, he just got his head down, worked on his game and just showed people the quality that he has, and now he's back in and amongst the England squad. Would I take him to the World Cup? Yeah, I would take Harry Maguire, definitely. I'm not saying he's going to be a starter, but there'll be certain games where you probably could throw Harry Maguire into the game. I think he's been outstanding for them. And me and Dave were just talking about, if Martinez and De Ligt were fit, would Harry Maguire have got the amount of game time that he's got under Michael Carrick? But fair play to him, he's grabbed it with both hands. And I just like his strong determination. If anyone's watching it, some players are quick to go when things are not going right for them. You basically shout from the rooftops and just try to initiate that move away. Never did he do that. He just got on with things, carried on going, lost the captaincy. That must have hurt him big time to lose the captaincy. But you know what? He's got on with it, and fair play to him. And for him to sign the new deal, credit to him. And Dan just said there, if Ruben Amorim was in charge, probably he wouldn't have stayed there. So I'm glad Michael Carrick gave him that role, and he's reveling in it. So good luck to Harry Maguire. I think he's been outstanding for them this season.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I had the fortunate chance to actually chat to him when he was going through it. And he was really resilient. Even during the interview, he was sort of saying, actually, I've got broad shoulders, I can take all this. And he's just kept going. And he's shown actually what happens if you do keep going. This is good for all parties, would you say, Dave?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly a good deal for Harry Maguire. He was one of the most highly paid players at Manchester United on the previous contract. Unclear where he sits in the pay structure for this new deal.
Yeah.
And also you have to think about, well, what would the market for Harry Maguire have been this summer? Would he have been able to attract a club of the stature of Manchester United again? Unlikely. So for him, if he sees out the year plus the option, he'll be closing in on 10 years as a Manchester United player, which is absolutely magnificent. And he'll be hoping to potentially end his career as a Manchester United player. So I think it's a terrific deal for Harry Maguire. And you're talking about his position within the club. You can't forget that Manchester United had been open to selling him as well. It's not like it was all down to him struggling with performance that he was being questioned. The club were open to selling him on a number of occasions. West Ham, we were reporting, were very interested in signing him at one point. And if a lot of players since Sir Alex Ferguson left the club have been accused of not being broad enough to wear the Manchester United shirt, you have to say Harry Maguire has shown time and time again that he has got the mettle to wear a Manchester United shirt. He might not have the amazing quality of some of the players of years gone by, but he's certainly shown the responsibility.
Yeah, you make a really good point. And you were talking about the fact that you would put him on that plane for Thomas Tuchel in England. Is it his experience that you'd want to see? What is it that he brings?
Yeah, it's his experience, because we know the likes of Gay, Konza, even John Stones, if he can get fit, they're all ahead of Harry Maguire at the moment without a shadow of doubt, because that's where Thomas Tuchel looks. But I know Tuchel said he's probably fifth choice, but I'd probably make Harry Maguire 4th choice at the moment, and I'd take him on the plane for his experience. You saw the other day, even against Japan, where it wasn't going right, and he came on. He's a threat from set pieces. No one wants to mark Harry Maguire when the ball's in both boxes. He's a threat. I'm not saying that's how England are going to play, but there might be some games where it's tight and you can bring him on with a bit of experience. So I think it'd be good to have him there. He's done it with other people. I know he's played well this season, but Jordan Henderson looks like he's got the experience. So why not take a centre-half like Harry Maguire? That's just my honest opinion. I think he deserves it. I think he's got his head down and he's been through a lot at Man United and he's playing ever so well and he's a threat. So for me, I'd have him on the plane, but I'm not the manager.
No,
Sorry.
you're not. But it's good for you to have influence on.
Yeah.
Look, in terms of what he's done under Michael Carrick, he's played the most minutes any players played under Michael Carrick, and that clearly has helped him do what he's done.
Yeah.
And he's had 2 players today, Mbeumo and Diallo, both saying he should get the permanent job. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I've always been like 50-50, but now I'm starting to think Michael Carrick's got a good chance. Not to say he doesn't deserve it, because if I'm the hierarchy, I give Michael Carrick the job, but I was thinking, did he know when he went in there it was always going to be interim manager? And were Man United saying, we were looking for another manager, someone like probably an Enrique who's at PSG, and if he decides to leave there, maybe, a bigger name than Michael Carrick. But all Michael Carrick can do is what he's done is gone in there and got Man United in the Champions League. That's Man United. At the start of the season, a lot of people were ridiculing Man United and saying how they were struggling under Ruben Amorim. He's come in there and got them in the Champions League. So the run they've been on, huge credit to Michael Carrick. And you saw how Diallo and Mbeumo spoke about him. When your players are speaking about you so well, then you're doing a good job. I never saw anyone speak about Ruben Amorim like that. So I must say Michael Carrick's got it. And you know what he's done? It's basic stuff, Vicky. He's gone in there. He's probably put players in their proper position, played players like Kobbie Mainoo, put people around, an arm around the shoulder and said they're talented players. You're all good players. Go and express yourself. And they're expressing themselves. Look how good Bruno Fernandes has been. We're talking about him maybe being the player of the year, like with some of these top players in the reckoning for player of the year. Fantastic player, and like Cunha and Mbeumo, Diallo, Kobbie Mainoo who's come back in there. Casemiro had a new lease of life. He's meant to be leaving in the summer. I'd give him another year. Definitely. I'm not saying he's going to play week in, week out. But what I'm saying is his experience, I think he's been outstanding. And that's down to Michael Carrick. So huge credit. So yeah, I've always been 50-50, but why not? I'd give the job to Michael Carrick at the end of the season for sure.
Yeah, it's difficult because a lot of people say, well, if he gets Champions League, then should automatically be given the job. I'm not quite so sure it's as simple as that. And you have to think about the market as well. United have been doing due diligence on potential managerial appointments come the summer, but the market has slimmed down for potential managers over the last few weeks. Think about Thomas Tuchel committing his future. Carlo Ancelotti looks like he wants to stay with Brazil, and now Roberto De Zerbi is off the market and is at Spurs. You have to think about the type of manager that would be comfortable working under the structure at Manchester United, potentially not having a major say in who the team signs, potentially having the owner putting his 2 pence in and being comfortable with that, being able to manage up, being able to manage down at Manchester United is going to be a key component of whoever takes it on a permanent manager. But he's done everything he can at the moment. I agree with Clinton. He's done the basics really well, putting players in their right positions. Are we seeing enough of Manchester United becoming a top side apart from the basics? It's hard to tell. It's really hard to tell because it's such a short space of time. So it's a really important decision for the United board. It's a really tough one.
But it looks like they're nailed on for Champions League. They've got that 3rd place, haven't they, at the moment? So he's done everything he possibly can to put himself in the driving seat.
If he don't get the Man United job, he'll be managing in the Premier League next season, without a shadow of doubt. Because he's a top manager. He's done ever so well. So if he doesn't get the job at Man United, he'll be in the Premier League somewhere.
Yeah, I would agree with that. OK, stay with us, because next we're going to cross to Lisbon, where Arsenal fans are in great voice.